He was actually very just forthcoming with what he had told us. He's like, you have cancer, you have osteosarcoma, so that kind of hits you like a brick wall, like a really huge brick wall.
Cancer is the #1 disease killer of children in the United States. We speak of it in hushed tones instead of screaming for help, but scream we should. Treatment, developed 40 years ago, involves multi-agent chemotherapy and surgery. Unfortunately, the decades since have witnessed no further improvements.
This is a very aggressive cancer. It's in your bones, and it's difficult to treat, which is one of the reasons I think we don't have new treatments. We've heard it described as a dandelion cancer, where it's in your bone. If you disturb it, it just blows up, and it can spread very quickly. And the most devastating spread, and commonly the first place that it goes, is the lungs. These kids die of it's like being suffocated. They can't breathe. They also can't eat. So they're starving and suffocating to death. It's an anguishing, grueling, horrible death.
After 3 years of invasive chemotherapy and limb salvage surgery, Cheyenne's left leg was amputated.
It actually took a couple of months before it kind of became really real that I actually had an amputation, because it wasn't until I got the cover for my leg that I all of a sudden just it just clicked. I'm like, you're never gonna have your leg again.
We are filming the next couple of days what it's like to be in treatment for osteosarcoma, and what it's like to travel for treatment, and what that looks like, what that feels like, and what the process is that you go through to get extraordinary care.
That's why we came to Cleveland, just because they do think outside of the box, and for 3 years we've been thinking inside this little box. We've stayed with their little map, and it's all just gone to crap, basically. My lung is collapsed, and then the rest of it is full of disease, so. Yeah.
So there are many physicians that have dedicated their lives to improving outcomes for osteosarcoma for these kids. We were really interested in Cheyenne's journey with Dr. Pete, because Dr. Pete finds a way to make it better. He is known as the out-of-the-box thinker.
Thinking out of the box really is learning from other people. And once you do that and take the time to keep learning, you'll learn new things every day, every week.
It would really hurt to lose her, but she knows where she's going after this. We know where she's going, and we have peace in that. We rest in that. We're doing everything we can to get her better and to, make sure that she's here for a long time. And we got a lot of good doctors around her.
After the morning of scans and labs, and then seeing Dr. Pete, we were in that space of Dr. Pete's office and waiting to hear, what is today gonna look like and how's this gonna unfold today? Looked at the scans with the family and with Cheyenne, and basically said, we can't do chemotherapy today. Her lungs were not well enough. She was not well enough to take chemotherapy. She was sent home with no more treatments.
It's now at the point where it's whenever he takes her home, because there's nothing else out there. And that's the reality. And I'm not losing hope. I have hope. I know this has been conquered, but the reality is the treatments that are available, this is it. And she can't do the second treatment because it's not working.
You have to stay strong. For her, if you break down, she's gonna break down, and the best thing to do is to just be by her side and to be there for her in the moment.
Yeah, my family has always been there for me, and it's definitely helped me in more than one way.
Within 10 days, she had been put on a ventilator, and and she passed away within 10 days of our completing filming.
Having my faith and my hope somewhere not on this world has really given me it's given me hope that it's not just this life that I'm living. I'll have somewhere else that I'll be, that I'll have a perfect body, and that I'll be new again.
So we really let Cheyenne tell us her story, and she was so brilliant and poised and courageous in doing so. I think, you know, so many times people look at these kids and they say, they're so resilient, gosh, they're so cheerful, and they're so, you know, they're just doing great. I know as an adult in the Pediatric Cancer Center, I know the truth. These kids do their best to put on a happy face, but the hardest thing that you can have as a cancer patient, and particularly as a child, is when you look at your family looking back at you and you can see that you're causing their pain. You do everything you can to put on a good face, to be cheerful, to be courageous and strong and a superhero, so that you don't cause any more pain to your family. When a child gets cancer, the whole family gets cancer. Everybody suffers. Everybody is in the fight. I think we're all here to support each other and to make it better for each other. And as I've said, I now know better. I've been in the Pediatric Cancer Center. I know the suffering that's there. And I think there is a part of me that goes, okay, go on and live your life. You know, you've been given a great gift with this life, but I've also been given a great responsibility with this life. And it is to try to make it better for these kids who are still in treatment. Not doing this work is akin to leaving a man behind on a field of battle. You can't do it. You know there's the suffering, and you know there's something you can do to help.